Heyo everybody, Haku here with a quick Tower of God discussion on what saga I think is going to come next after the Nest, because I feel like we're probably going to be wrapping up the Nest stuff pretty soon. Now I know that the Fast Pass and the Raws and stuff are like 2 months ahead or something, but I don't think they're that far ahead. I don't think the Nest has ended yet, so hopefully this video still has some merit, but I do think that's going to be ending soon. Basically, we've already accomplished what Bomb's goal was, which was to rescue Jinsung, so really, I don't think we're going to be taking out Traumerei at this stage in the story. He seems like a character that's just being built up right now, and we're going to get back to him later. We're not just going to do everything with Traumerei all at once. So I do feel like the main goal here is just going to be like to escape and stuff. But yeah, this is just going to be a super quick discussion video on what I think is coming next after that. I was just thinking about it. I was in the shower before recording my review for chapters 530 to 533, and I thought of all these ideas, and I'm like, I don't know, do I want to put them in there somewhere? But I decided to just make them their own video, so I'm recording this before the review, but I'm probably going to post it after the review, so if you're watching this, I guess go watch that later too. So I think what we're going to get next is either going to be a Princess Saga or a Prince Saga. I think those are the things that we're most built up to transition into next, and I feel like honestly the transition into the Princess Saga might be a bit more smooth. So back during the Hell Train, I used to say all the time during Hell Train that I thought what we were getting next was maybe a princess-related arc slash saga, but probably Bay Road. I was always saying Bay Road is next, Bay Road is next. We have all the build-up with Chang, with the Mad Dogs. I think Bay Road is coming next, with FUG and the Slayers getting involved. And I wasn't sure how we would transition into it, but it turns out Jinsung getting captured and Karaka trying to get the rest of FUG on board to help him rescue him. Turns out that was a really great transition into getting into the Bay Road stuff. Now, the Bay Road, it did not turn out to be at all what I expected it to be, but that is what we got next, was the Bay Road stuff. So now, continuing on with the, princess stuff next, now we've also got some hints for some prince stuff next as well. So the question for me is that once we do escape from here, and I think we're going to, once we escape from here, we're going to leave the Yama and Traumerei, like the Lopobia family versus the Canine people plot point. I think we're going to like reach a certain point where it's like, okay, that's settled for now, and we're going to come back to that later. Like I said, I don't think Yama's beating Traumerei or anything yet. I don't think Bomb is beating Traumerei or anything yet, so I think we're just going to shelve the Canine people stuff and the Yama stuff so that Yama can keep building up in the background, and we're going to shelve the Traumerei stuff and Lopobia family stuff for now. And then we're either going to transition into the Princess arc, which I think is more likely, so I'll talk about the Prince stuff first. So the Prince stuff, the build-up we have is that we're learning about the Dajong, or the boss, or the captain. I'm not, like, they go back and forth on the translation of that, and there's at least two of them. We have them. We could easily transition that into getting Yiwan Danhua back, and also we have Wangnan. I've had people in my comments saying for forever, oh, we need a Wangnan arc next, we need to do that. We know that Wangnan went back with Miseng to grab Kasano and Horyang and Goseng, so they're going up the tower. We could see what they're doing climbing the tower for a while, and all of that makes a lot of sense, because after this we have the build-up where the boss is the one that told Bomb where the nest was, where Jinsung was being held, the one that put all this together, and we know that like one of the conditions for Bomb doing all this is that he gets Yiwan Danhua back, so like all of that makes sense for us to get into next. And I feel like this doesn't even need to be a full saga really, which is one reason why I question if it'll be next or anything, because it could really just be a Team Sweet and Sour, Team Tangsuyuk reunion arc basically, where we get Bomb, because now Prince and Akraptor are gone, possibly. Like I said, ever since White said, oh, their souls are within me and stuff, I'm like, oh god, is there going to be a way to bring them back? But now that Prince and Akraptor are gone, Bomb would be getting Yiwa back, and then would be meeting up with the other four remaining members, Miseng, Goseng, Wangnan, and Horyang, as they climb the tower. So it might get more deep into the Prince stuff. I would love that. I would love to get some good Karaka Jinsung interaction, get to see Karaka's actual face, get more lore drops from the boss maybe, see how that all connects into Wangnan. I would love to see all that, and I do think that is a strong potential, like second place for what comes next in the story. But it could just be pushed back after the Princess stuff, or it could serve as just kind of a small reunion arc for Team Sweet and Sour. But the big thing, the thing that I think is most likely to be our next saga, is actually the Princess stuff, because I think we have so much Princess stuff built up for this, and I even reread the end of Name Hunt Station and stuff again when I got out of the shower, just to make sure I was right on some of this information. So we know that there is basically a civil war between two factions of regular princesses going on right now, between Gladmary and Rose. So we get Lilial and Chilial, and this is why I think that this might be next, because I can see the transition being so easy for CU to do, where we finish off the Nest stuff and then we just cut to Lilial and Chilial and they're like, wow, you hear the stuff that happened with our family? Wow, that's crazy. Okay, what are we... And like, they work with Macheni too, so again, we have Macheni and Lopobia stuff coming. They're working with Macheni. They can be like, wow, Maria, you hear about this stuff with our family? We get maybe like a silhouette or like one of those partial panels that CU likes to do of Maria. Then we see those three. Then we can cut to Anak and Andrasi, who are again extremely important characters we need to get back to. The last time that we saw Anak and Andrasi, they were questioning Traveler on where Rachel was. Traveler also has a reason to want to go back after Rachel because she has Emily. My theory for a while was that Rachel was going to use one of her wishes to get Gaston to make her into a princess, because that not only continues her sort of rivalry juxtaposition with Bomb, because Bomb is working with FUG, so she could work with Zahard's army. And whenever I said that, for some reason people were like, oh, she wouldn't be loyal. I don't mean like loyal to Zahard's army like Calavan. I mean like what she said about Kasano, to use their power to further her own goals. So I think she would work alongside the 10 families or Zahard to further her goals. So would again put her at the opposite end of the spectrum to Bomb. Plus, if she accepted the power of a princess, it continues the rivalry that she's had going on since the very beginning of the series with Andrasi. Andrasi is the one going after her. And Gaston is the one who came up with the princess system to begin with. So again, I think all of that with Gaston and the princesses connect. We know that there was still the bet that was going on between Macheni and Yuri. Again, we need to get back and figure out what happened to Yuri after the last station. So I feel like all of these plot points are like too numerous and too connected to like probably not be the next thing that we get into. I just feel like there's so much going on with the princesses. So again, I don't think we would handle all of the princess stuff at once, but I think we would have a saga that's focused around the sort of factions of regular princesses. The Maria, Lilial, and Chilial faction, the Anak and Andrasi faction, the Gladmary faction, and the Rose faction, and then of course like Bomb and Kuhn and such would be getting involved there. We know that Macheni said, I can't tell you why I want the Green April, but she wanted that. Did she get it? Now that Yuri's been locked up, we know that Bomb has the Black March within him, even though we never ever see it. So again, there's like so much stuff going on there that I do think our next stop after this like Lopobia, Bay Road, Canine People saga, I think we're getting a Princess saga. We could get a Prince saga around the Wangnan and Karaka and boss stuff. We could get that, like, but I think that maybe comes after the princess stuff, or either that or we just get like a short arc of that and then we go into the princess stuff. But I feel like the princess stuff is our next like first chunk of season 3, our next Hell Train, our next big chunk of the story is probably going to be princess stuff. And then after that we might have one more thing, or that might cover everything. We're on the 50-somethingth floor. That might cover everything until we get to the, 77th floor, and we get into like Wall Hike Song stuff. So I think we'll probably have 2 sagas then. Like, maybe we'll have a prince and a princess saga, and then we'll get to the Wall Song saga. But yeah, just let me know what you think. I know a lot of people want a Wangnan and Prince saga next. I see it in my comments all the time. But I actually, just because the Lopobia twins are connected to Misheni, they're working with Misheni, and because they're from the Lopobia family, who like this whole arc is basically about, I feel like the transition there is so natural. Plus there's so much stuff going on with Rachel and Gaston and Andraste chasing them, and we really don't usually stay away from Andraste that long, honestly. So again, I feel like all of that stuff is coming to a head. That's probably what happens next. But again, even when that happens, I don't think we're going to handle all the princess stuff at once, just like we're not handling all of the Lopobia family stuff at once. Like, I straight up do not think there's any possibility whatsoever that the Lopobia family gets taken out here at the Nest. Like, I do not think, like, Perditi and Perseus and Traumeré and all of them are getting taken out here at the Nest. And again, because I'm 2 months behind, I could be totally wrong, but it just doesn't make sense with where we are at now in the story. Even with Bam getting Leviathan and stuff, like where his allies are right now, where Jinsung is at with being hurt, where Evan Kell is hurt and tired, Yuhan Sung is hurt and tired, so is Yama right now. Has been, like, he got a little bit of a power up, but he's not at the point where he's fighting Traumeré or anything. I just think that Bam and his allies are at the point where they are very much not in the shape to do anything except go for the escape plan right now. So I feel like we're probably going to be ending the Nest soon and coming back to this stuff later. But yeah, again, sorry that was completely extemporaneous, no notes or anything, just some thoughts I was having that I wanted to make into their own video. So sorry if it was like unorganized and rambling. I was trying to remember everything. I'm certain there are more points that I forgot. But let me know what you would like to see next and what you think is next. I think what I'd like to see and what I think next is both the princess thing. I think I would rather see a princess arc than a prince arc. As much as I miss Wangnan, as much as I want more Karaka lore drop and boss lore drop and stuff, I think I'd rather see a princess saga next. And I think a princess saga is a little bit, like, it would be so easy to transition into either because there's so much that's connected to what's going on right now. But I do think the princess is just a little bit more likely than the prince stuff, because I think we need to build that up a little bit more before we like jump into a full arc of that stuff. But yeah, either way, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and record the review now, and like I said, you'll be seeing that review before this goes up, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I always do in-depth breakdowns on the chapters, and I'm going to be doing 530 to 533. So either way, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, comment down there. Like I said, whatever you think or want to be next, what your thoughts are on my thoughts. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, just ask and I'll give you a link. And if you want to help support the channel on Patreon, it really does help me to continue to make videos. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons, like Claudio Munoz, SG, and Evan Hawley. So yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you all next time.